Seiichi Yokomizo was a Japanese novelist, and apparently he's the first guy to introduce a thing into Japanese literature called honkaku, and that simply means murder mystery. He wrote more than 70 novels, and this one, The Honjin Murders, was his first. It was written in 1946, right after World War II. The Honjin Murders is what literary critics call a locked room mystery. A lot of English language writers have taken this kind of mystery on, guys like John Dixon Carr and Arthur Conan Doyle, to name just two. It's clear that Yokomizo read a lot of English mystery books. He says as much in this novel, and in fact one of his characters has a pretty extensive library of those books. More to the point, he says that he got the idea for the solution to this mystery from the Sherlock Holmes story, The Problem at Thor Bridge. So what I did after I finished reading Honjin Murders was to read Thor Bridge and then see how they compared. Both stories have some common elements. A brilliant, eccentric detective, Sherlock Holmes for Arthur Conan Doyle, and a guy named Kosuke Kindaichi in the Honjin Murders. Both faced with a seemingly impossible murder in an isolated, affluent setting. An English country estate for Holmes and a traditional snowbound Japanese inn for Kindaichi. A little footnote here. The word Honjin is what they used for this kind of inn. It refers to inns that feudal lords would stay in on their way to Edo, Tokyo. Now, in Thor Bridge, a wealthy man's wife is found shot dead, and the primary suspect, the governess, appears trapped by physical evidence. There is no murder weapon found on the bridge where the woman was killed, and instead it seems to have appeared in the governess's closet. Now, the Honjin Murders features a couple slaughtered on their wedding night. Their bedroom is locked from the inside. They were apparently killed with a katana, that'd be a Japanese sword, and the sword, or katana, is found in the snow outside the bedroom with no footprints anywhere near it. Two mysteries in both cases. How was it done, and who did it? Conan Doyle and Yokomizo take different approaches to solving the mystery. In Thor Bridge, Sherlock focuses on a single crucial physical clue, a chip on the bridge's balustrade. And that unravels an elaborate suicide framing plot. The plot was set up to frame the family's governess. And like all Sherlock Holmes stories, there's an emphasis on empirical observation and logical deduction. Now, the motive in Thor Bridge is simple domestic jealousy. The story goes very fast. It prioritizes solving the puzzle, how was it done, rather than getting into the characters' personalities and motivations too deeply at all. I might say that the technique the killer uses to pull this off is actually relatively simple, easy to understand. The Honjin Murders, on the other hand, is a much more intricate novel. It does two things. First off, it goes after solving the puzzle. He's got to do that. But it also immerses you, the reader, in the somewhat suffocating atmosphere and the rigid social customs of rural Japan. The solution to the murder in Honjin, in physical terms, is a lot more complex than what you get in Thor Bridge. There's a whole thing involving a koto, that's a traditional Japanese stringed instrument, and the design of the building where the murder takes place. Now, maybe for people who understand Japanese architecture, it's not that complicated. For me, it was a little tough to get my arms around it. But Yokomizo's focus is much more on the motive for the killing, and that motive seems to come out of Japanese culture. It has to do with the powerful demands of family lineage, family honor, and I guess the upheaval in Japanese society following Japan's defeat in World War II. With Thor Bridge, you're getting a demonstration of Sherlock Holmes' basic technique. On the other hand, the Honjin Murders really just uses the British mystery format as a framework to explore Japanese culture, traditions, obsessions, and so on in the period that immediately followed World War II. I think both books are pretty good. I'm sure you've read Arthur Conan Doyle, but maybe not Seiichi Yokomizo. You might want to give him a try. That's all I've got for this week. I'll see you next week.